All right, let's go over 6 trades from the Fed announcement. Seth Froiberg, who runs our options desk, actually asked me before the Fed came out with its announcement, as a short-term trader, what are the trades you guys are looking at? And I was actually surprised by that. And if Seth is asking me, hey, how are you guys attacking this from a short-term perspective, I bet you there's a lot of people out there who are traders, even a professional trader like him, who don't understand how we're attacking the Fed announcement as shorter-term traders. There were 6 trades that I want to go over. We talked about 3 of them, right? Before the Fed announcement, we talked about 3 of them that we were looking for. We were looking for the quick hit. After the announcement, we were looking for the fade, and we were looking for the trend trade. So they're here, and then I think there's a couple more that I actually want to talk about. So the first trade, this is something that you want to think about making as a shorter-term trader, is right away when the announcement comes out. There was about a 32% chance marked into the market that the Fed was going to increase rates by 25 basis points, right? They came out and they announced that they were not raising rates. My simple analysis from that would just be get long immediately. There is that trade. There are going to be some people that are a little bit disappointed that they didn't raise interest rates, and there's a trade to the upside. And the way you make the trade is the announcement comes out, and I think you were sitting next to me, and before the announcement came out, you can just tell by the price action that before it actually came over our squawk that they didn't do anything because the offers just disappeared. And so right when the announcement comes out, boom, you get long, you set a tight stop, and you play for the quick hit to the upside. You know, if it ticks against you, you get out, but it's you buy, and then the thing should go in your favor right away. It's a scalp. It's a momentum trade. The news is better for the overall market because they're not raising interest rates 25 basis points, right? That tends to be better for the marketplace. So surprisingly good to a certain segment of the population. You get long, it's a scalp, it's a momentum trade, you see what you can get out of it, okay? And we saw that with trade 1. The first move was up, right? Second trade is, and you can see from the demarcation there, trade 2, the second trade is, all right, it goes up and it slows, fade that move. And again, this is a scalp. There's this theory in the marketplace that the first move is always fake when the Fed actually comes out with an announcement. And so putting that to practice and utilizing your fade skills, we get the pop, we get protection, which is the top of the pop. We put it out, comes in, we cover it. Again, this is a insider baseball, shorter term trade that you can think about making. All right, and then the really good trade comes. And this is a trade that we want you guys, I think however you go about your trading, whether or not you become a swing trader or a scalper or momentum trader, as a shorter term trader, I think you got to be in 3. Trade 3 is something you don't want to miss. And that is, and we talked about this before the Fed announcement yesterday, let things settle. Treat the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes after the Fed announcement as the way we treat the open, right? It's a period of price discovery. So people are going to try and get long. Some people are going to get short. They're going to have different theses for why they're doing that. Some people are going to say, I'm getting long because now there's more money to put into the marketplace. I'm getting short because now Yellen is indicating the market isn't as strong as potential, or the economy isn't as strong as we potentially thought. I'm getting short. It doesn't necessarily matter. There are different people out there with different ideas, and they're all jockeying for a position and putting their positions on in that first half hour to 45 minutes, just like Adobe this morning in the first 45 minutes of the day, how crazy that was, right? It's price discovery. Things don't trend in the first half hour. And so you treat it the same way. But you could see a very, very clear, as we look at this chart, you can see a very, very clear range develop. And above that, 201.25, and below that 265-ish area, you got a pretty tight range that was developing. And you had time go by. Above the top of the range, the trend was going to be up. Below the bottom of the range, the trend was going to be down. That's a really good trade. We've got a huge news catalyst with the Fed announcement, right? A huge news, and people have been waiting for this all week. When we got above that 201.25, that's a trend trade for you to think about for your playbook. All right? That goes up, you sell it into strength. Great trade. Okay? Then, everyone understand that trade? That really is a trade. If anyone missed that trade yesterday, that's one you should be journaling saying, I shouldn't have missed that one. Okay? Trade 4, I think, is another trade you want to make. To me, when something breaks out and has a strong move away from a technical resistance area and then pulls into that area, technical analysis 101 is you buy back into that level. So we broke out from 201.25. We had a very strong up move, right? Then we came back into that level on relatively light volume, relatively quickly. I think you buy that area. That resistance becomes support. I want to position myself to buy that, waiting for another trend trade. You want your stops below that 201. That trade didn't work, but I still think that's a really good trade. I don't think that trade is necessarily as good as trade 3, but I still think that's a trade I'll make. I did make that trade. I did get stopped out below that. I didn't spend 1 second thinking that that was a mistake. I thought that was a very, very good trade. Trade number 5 is a break below that 250-ish area. So we pulled in further than we thought, and then we started to break below the bottom of that range from trade 3, and we held below that 250 area. Now we're trending to the downside. We're just using these levels that got put in during the first hour or so of trading. Below that area, we're trending to the downside. You can make a trend trade there. Everyone understand that? We're below the range. We're holding below there. I do have to say, to switch to that short trend trade, I'm actually going to make sure that that holds a little bit lower. I'm going to make sure that that goes sideways a little bit longer. I'm going to make sure that consolidation is a little bit lengthier. I'm going to need to be more sure that I'm right on trade 5 than I am on trade 3. I don't want to go flipping around in trades. All right? But that's a trade you really want to make. Trade 5 is a short. And then trade 6 is the swing overnight, because we really did trend down. After the announcement came out, we did trend to the downside. We did finish with the trend to the downside. You can think about making that trade. It would have worked really well, right? I mean, we came in down considerably. But those are 6 trades you want to think about during a Fed announcement, okay, as a shorter term trader. One of them definitely didn't work. I think the other ones probably worked out pretty nicely. We don't judge ourselves based on whether or not these trades worked or not. I'm not putting this up here to demonstrate 5 out of 6 trades worked. I'm putting this up to demonstrate these are 6 trades to think about the next time we have a Fed announcement. And I think that the Fed announcement is going to become increasingly more important. Now you're starting to hear that maybe they're not going to raise rates until next year. So if they unexpectedly raise rates, that's going to be a pretty good opportunity. If they start to delay even further when they're going to cut rates, that's going to create a really good opportunity. So we'll see these again, and I hope that helps. So until next time, talk to you soon.